morning. You find us just leaving Oxford and heading on to the River Thames. H has just done the paddles and we're just making our way through the Isis lock and turn right onto the River Thames. Exciting! This board shows the state of the rivers and you can probably just see that it's flashing green, which is exactly what you want to see. And then we have to get from the next lock keeper a registration to go onto the Thames. Morning.
Hello.
How nice that looks. How nice. Is it colder than the sea?
Huh?
Do you think it's colder than the
I
sea?
think the sea's supposed to be a little bit colder.
Okay. It is quite low, isn't it? But it didn't take our chimney off. Oh, just got our registration from the lovely lock keeper over there, who's super friendly and helpful, and he's doing the lock for us. They're a bit different, these locks. You have to use your front and back ropes and you have to turn the engine off while you're in it. But at least we don't have to do the paddles and gates ourselves, which is great. We've been on the Thames for about 10 minutes now and we're going a lot faster than we would normally. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels alright actually. You know you've got movement of water there.
We've got a hotel boat in front of us that we're following down, which is really helpful. They've done it loads of times. These are all the different rowing clubs of the various Oxford colleges. We just came through lots of rowers, very carefully. The river is big here. Oh my God, it's wide. So there's a sunken boat down here which they're taking out today, so we've got to go past it really carefully. Yeah. Oh, it's always so sad, isn't it, to see something in the water like that. just come through this lock here, and we had to get pulled in by the hotel boat because this weir was pulling the boat right over on the other side. I had absolutely no steering whatsoever, so it was a bit of a moment. So the people on the boat ahead of us, Donna and Vince, they've got a hotel boat called Tankara, and they take people out on the canals for 1 or 2 weeks at a time. Such a nice couple. Our last bit for today, and I'm up the front of the boat, and you can actually hear the water, which is quite unusual. We're going at 5 miles an hour, which doesn't sound much, but it's double our normal speed. And on the Thames, you can moor at lock landings. You can ring ahead and book it. So shortly we'll be coming up to Day's lock, and apparently we've got a very tricky turn left into a gate, but we can stay there the night. And quite often, if you stay just for one night, you don't get charged. So that's good, because as you can see, mooring along the edge of the Thames is very tricky. You can do it in places, but you need a long gangplank, and you need to make sure it's not too shallow at the edge. And on the other side, it's often private property, and they're not going to want you mooring down there. It's a shame it's still so grey, but it is lovely and warm, so we don't care. Well, we're at the lock landing, which is over there, but we've actually got to come round and come down this chicane over there, which had huge big red danger notices when we came, so we didn't think that was the way, but it is. So we sort of have to come around here. There's a big weir there, but it's blocked off with a bridge. So Henry has got to reverse all the way back and then somehow manoeuvre the boat through that chicane. It's our first time on the Thames today.
It needs to be close to the left hand of the post as we're looking at it, so
Yeah.
we get the swing.
Yeah, of course.
Because of the distance between the two.
Yeah.
We've always hated it since the EA put it like that. There used to be a much simpler gateway.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, so far so good.
yes, it's got the stream. It's taking. We probably hit the marker, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's it. Yes. And start the swing now, mate. Mister.
Whoop.
Don't worry, they're tough. They don't need to worry about that. Got plenty of room on the stern, which is good.
And then he's going to wind here and face up so that we can go out.
A multicoloured boat.
Yes. This is one of those floating home jetties that we've seen round and about. Mostly they come over from Holland, but this one's had 2 outboard motors fitted to it. Very strange thing. It's got a little monitor at the front and a steering wheel. This is interesting. A sluice has been built on the Thames and it brings the water through to this area here. And it's shallow and fast flowing, and it's for fish like trout to be able to swim upstream. It gives them the habitat that they like. And it goes way on over there in a big curve and comes out on the other side of the lock gates, which are over there. And this is all going to be planted up with trees and shrubs all around it and make it a really nice area. It's so nice to see environmental things like this being done. We've just had our second night on the Thames, and so far it's been a really pleasant journey. We've picked a window of weather where there's no wind at all. I mean, the last 2 days have been 2 kilometres per hour, dead calm, and the water levels are all low, and it's been really nice and easy. Mooring is tricky. I'll show you where we moored last night. So we pulled in to this bank, but we couldn't really get that close, so we've had to use our gangplank. Henry's just taken the chimney down and we're just about to set off again. And today we're going to go down and through Reading. We're probably not going to stop there. Reading's not the most popular place to stop, and it's actually probably only half an hour or so down the Thames. You can overnight moor at lock landings here if you ring ahead or talk to the lock keeper when you come up. Not all of them. And the night before last we moored at Days Lock, which was nice, but you're mooring in the weir stream, and so there's this rushing sound all night of moving water, and as safe as it is, I can't sleep with rushing water. It just gets into my dreams and you know, it gives me nightmares really. The same's happened when we've been camping and we've camped near the sea. You just dream all night that the water's coming into your tent. So the wild camping last night was better, much quieter, apart from the geese. So we're nearly ready for the off, I think. Running along a large part of the Thames is the Thames Path, and you can walk from the source right down in through London. It's very misty today, which is why there's not much contrast on the picture. But you can just see the path running down there, and there's lots of people on it. There's also an extremely large vein of wealth runs all down the Thames. Interesting to see. And we did have to stop in Reading because of a broken lock ahead, but we met Andrew on this boat behind us and had a great evening with him instead. Pastel, but nice, yeah. Looks like they've used lots of masking tape as well. Lovely. Look at all this. After being on the canals for months, this just seems insane. Last night we moored at a beautiful National Trust spot called Cliveden Reach on the Thames. You can just see the Thames through the trees down there. And they've got lots of mooring spots here. You pay a fee to the National Trust to help them maintain it all. It's just beautiful, just in the middle of the woods, a few miles away from Staines. It's full of surprises, the Thames.